view. We're leaving No-Go Valley, headed into town. Love when the fog snakes around the valleys like that. Super awesome. We're in the fog here, coming down the hill. There's some really nice sun shots we missed. We can get a little more here. The sun was peeking out up above over there. Down here, it's all murky. Always gives that feeling of something lurking. We're known for the fog up here, especially along the coast. Layered meadow here. Let's collect Ron's camera. This is where we found those hares. Maybe we'll go check that area also. We're gonna get wet again here. Just dried up. Back in that area where we found those hares with Alex and Jonathan. Checking to see if there's anything else. Old mushroom there.
See the twist of that? When we found this, I mean the pine needles on this down here were still green. It broke there, and if you look closely at the bottom, there's another branch that was twisted.
Yeah.
Right next to it. See that, Glenn?
Mm-hmm.
So up there, broken, and then there's a branch right underneath the fallen one that's kind of been twisted. So we think that might have been a squatch break.
That'd be
It's about the whole bit.
Out here with Mike Casey at the Willow Creek China Flat Bigfoot Museum, and we were wondering because you never know when they're gonna be open, and they're open today, so we're gonna have a little fun in there.
We got lucky.
Yep.
The original tracks are in here.
Oh wow.
They're lock and key.
Yep. and you had access to it.
We got to scan the originals and everything.
So if you check out the intro to what is the series?
I had one in my video, but Uncovering the Truth of Sasquatch, you can see him in there, and then Bigfoot at Bluff Creek by Small Town Monsters.
Right.
So
these are replicas up here of stuff.
So they were telling me some of them, I think are down here original. I think that's an original.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is an original. This is from the film site. That's an original.
Wow, dude.
So I think they do put some of the originals on display.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another original.
There's Mike. Finally, after 5 times Mike has tried, he's finally in here. Hey, who casted them? Roger and Bob, or
These are Bob Titmus.
Titmus?
So Titmus casted
But
these
did
right here.
did
Actually, I think
who casted the patties?
Titmus and Roger.
Okay.
So Titmus was a professional caster and tracker. So Titmus like casting the ones like the one right here to the left, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Roger wanted the perfect ones.
Yeah, that one looked the
So, like,
toes look kind of what do you call
The
it?
stuff that Roger
Laid
casted.
out.
These are copies right here. I think the originals are in that case of these. I can't remember. But Roger liked the perfect ones, and he casted these.
Of course, everyone wants the perfect tracks.
Yeah.
Super trippy.
A bunch of different stuff.
Oh yeah. And we've been in here before several
Al
times.
Hodgson here.
Yeah, R.I.P. Al. There he is. I've seen some. Have you seen some interviews with him and This one has the mid-tarsal break on there.
So here's that video. Daniel Perez.
Can I subscribe to Sasquatch Archive?
I thought it was, and then
In between speakers.
These tracks look like a tightrope walk there.
Renee the Hen didn't be raiding Grover Curtis. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the dude just went off like on everything.
I think it was the same conference that Perez was doing. Must have had some beef with some people. I know who that guy is.
That means too.
Lauren Coleman.
He's selling his Squatch place at
Todd Neese or Lauren?
his cabin. Buddies.
He has a cabin?
But they moved up to like Arkansas.
Daniel Perez.
Mickey likes this place.
Al Hodgson.
Alright, we're gonna get Show
So
some original.
I made the mistake the other day with Cliff. He was going to come in here. We were going to talk about some museum stuff. So when they opened this up, it was a different world. He was
Salute to Eric Nelson, curator of the museum.
oh yeah, it just all conversations after that ceased.
You guys could be talking about beer and you open that up.
Yes, yes. So there's one in here. I think you saw it last year. That's broken. So just be careful with it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, but have at it.
Thank you.
Oh, you bet.
Bob Gimlin, Titmus. It's a copy.
Hey, you know most of these, right?
Yeah.
You want to listen in?
I'm listening.
Pretty cool, right?
Bigger than mine for.
It's hard to tell sometimes, man. Okay, so you know the whole the whole thing that happened with the Maccabees and all Todd Gatewood thing. Have you heard about that? Todd Gatewood restoring the Patterson Gimlin film with AI.
Oh.
So we caught him alive, basically. So what happened was he was saying how the Maccabees owned the original film canister from Roger's camera, but that's not true. Because the original film was sent up to Al Diatley to have copied, and then there was copies made. So there was first generation copies, which Patricia Patterson got one. But after Roger passed, Eric Beckjord asked to look at the film and analyze it, and he ended up stealing the first generation copy from Patricia, making copies, and then gave her a second generation copy, and he gave it to the Maccabees. I'm pretty sure this is the copy. One of them is a copy that he stole.
Scandalous.
Yep. Which Bill Munns was here, and he was looking at this. One of those. I was here for that. Crazy. Yep. PG film from Bill Munns and appraisal. So it's on a hard drive. Some cast handprints, I think. And then just a rubber mold. Feel how old that mold is, dude. That thing's rock hard.
Jesus.
Is this the same one from May?
This here.
That's the original, I believe. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's the original, and those are copies, I think. Now, lower handprints, they say on the back of them probably fake, but Cliff says no, and then this time and age, I think they're actually real, in retrospect, because back when they cast the ones below us,
Yeah.
they weren't really into handprints and stuff at the time.
No, that one, even footprints are still rare.
Yep.
So, handprints are kind of a new thing.
Yeah, and it turns out that the handprints, just like the bottom of your hands, tell you as much as your feet,
Yeah.
which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You know, Cliff on one of these, he pulls it over and goes, "Oh yeah, you see the fat pad here on the foot, stuff that I don't see. There's a fat pad there, and so he's saying that all this information, especially in your prints now that you don't polish,
Yeah.
it's all there, And so that's one thing is that back in the day, they'd get these prints and they would polish them to make them look presentable. Well, a lot of that information goes away. So Cliff, who's
There's like another handprint here, but
that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
He says that on the back of this it says probably fake. But now Cliff goes, no, we're starting to think that this actually.
Oh, because it was Ivan Marks or something.
I don't know what the issue was at the time. My head was spinning anyways when he was going through all this stuff.
So here's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Because I think before the museum here got that, Bill Munns looked at Patricia's first generation copy.
Yeah.
And then later on, I think maybe after that, before that, Eric Beckjord
Yes.
went to look at it, and he stole the first generation copy and
Interesting.
made copies of that one.
Okay.
And from what I heard, I was talking to Steven Strufer, and
Yeah.
he was thinking that after he made the copies, he put a second generation back in the original canister that Patricia had and gave her a second gen
Underhanded.
and kept the first gen, and apparently he gave the first gen to Bruce and Jan McAfee.
Okay.
And so when Finding Bigfoot was here, when Bill Munns was looking at it, I think he was analyzing the second gen copy.
Yeah.
Beckjord.
And he would be the only one, him and or maybe Cliff. I mean, beyond that, it's so convoluted on purpose, right?
Yeah, it's just so much.
We have Eric Beckjord's stuff upstairs. It's in a pile. I had them pushed aside.
Just put it in the burn pile. Oh, that's a pretty broken one.
Yeah, it's broken. So what would you? I meant to ask Cliff, but he was so down the rabbit hole. To repair that, glue it, leave it, put it on cardboard.
Probably glue it.
I don't think glue it. I glued one of mine.
Is it? It's taped, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it's taped. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Maybe dental stone, like another kind of like a.
Yeah.
So I was telling him how Roger Patterson liked to cast the perfect tracks.
Right.
That one.
Right.
But with Titmus being an expert tracker, he was like, I want the
understood.
details.
Yep. He wants the toes. He wants the different
Yeah.
variations. Totally makes sense.
So that's why Roger casted like the perfect ones,
Yep.
and Titmus casted like these, the really famous mid-tarsal break,
Yep.
which I think are the cooler ones versus what.
Yeah, because it shows all that. And the thing is, these are period pieces, so hoaxsters wouldn't have they wouldn't have anything at their resource that would be silicone, that would be bendy, that would show a mid-tarsal break. They just wouldn't have known that. They'd have wooden stoppers.
I know, right?
So when Cliff was here, I introduced him to Dave McCoy, Sue McCoy's son, called him and his dad, to meet Bob Patterson down here, who was headed to the coast to ship off a fake. He says he was the most excited man I've seen in my life. And he was talking about he needed to ship off this film reel to Washington because he got a big place to clear. He goes, you know what? He goes, Paul Freeman was my Boy Scout master. He goes, and I'll tell you what, that poor man, his reputation was impugned in my community, and I feel bad for him because he lost everything just because of what he came across. He goes, now I hunt the blues. You know, I hunt for elk during the day. He goes, I see all the same things he told us as Boy Scouts. He sees channelization, he sees the tree structures, sees all that stuff naturally when he's hunting. He goes, you know, Paul Freeman wasn't full of BS. He goes, that poor man's reputation was impugned, but what he experienced is what he experienced. It was kind of neat.
I've been to Dudek Spring a couple times, and I actually found a footprint and then a little tiny footprint.
Yeah.
While up there,
I mean, that's cool.
it's a fun spot.
That's
I
really
made good friends with Michael Freeman. He
Yeah,
told me
it
all
sounds
his
like he's really
stories.
doing his
Yeah.
dad right now, which is great. Because that video to me is the second best
Tate's
video
doing
ever.
some lighter
That's
scans there
massive.
too.
There's no human being you can find in Walla Walla, Washington, put in a suit that have those proportions.
Yeah.